Hello. Hello. For replay purposes, hello everyone. How are you? Good. Good. I'm reading discussion questions for the book Spare by Prince Harry. Hello, 4 people. Peggy, my love. Hello, Dorothy. Watcher. Vicky. Hello. You know what? I apologize to everyone. I did not finish reading Spare until this week. Stupid. I know. Stupid. Usually what I do, if I go pick up like my daughter, I'll go an hour early to pick up my daughter and I'll read the book for an hour. And that's like my time. But her schedule with that damn play effed us up. I mean, it was like, I'm going to pick her up at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. I don't know how many. So I finally finished it. And I'm going to tell you what, so much has happened from the end of that book to now. Hey, Ange, Tater. I'm just going to call you Tay. I can't figure. I'm dumb. I'm too stupid to figure out your name. Anyway, a lot has happened since the book, like Frogmore being taken away from Harry and Meghan by Prince Charles. Hey, Rain. That's huge to me. That was when that happened last week. Why would you take away a home that the Queen gave them, and they spent $2.4 million redoing, and you're just gonna take it away? My Jen, I've had enough. Oh, that makes me mad too, Dorothy. When I read that, I'm like, because at first the British people did pay for the renovations, but then they paid them back. Harry and Meghan paid them back $2.4 million. Hey, Trish. Hey, Earth. But you can't. I mean, you can't. The Queen gave them the home. Why is Charles taking it back? And then he's bestowed upon Harry's children so graciously the title of Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Thanks, Charles. Appreciate that. I don't understand it. And it makes everything in this book, what has happened in the last few weeks, makes me believe more and more what was going on in this book. Sorry, but I do. I've lost my opinion. Well, I would believe that too, Rain Girl, because I mean it was a gift. And I read this book and I felt, and I understand that it's just Harry's point of view. They're not actually given at least, and it was for safety reasons. Too close to the whales, yeah. Can't get too close to them. I never decided that. You did actually catch a lot. Yeah, I read that though this week, and I thought, well, so you take something away, but then you give the children titles. Well, are you also going to give them protection because you're not protecting Harry anymore? But do you have to now protect a prince and princess? I'm very confused. I purposely didn't watch any of Prince Harry's interviews before the book. Well, Lavender Sun, they go through that where they do. I don't know. YouTube's bipolar, just like me. Oh, they're not HRH. Well, when at the end of this book, when the security was being pulled when they were in Canada, and there's nothing they could do about it. And when Prince Harry admits that he is 40-some years old and had never had to figure out how to take care of himself because it was Charles's, he was a working member of the royal family. Therefore, he got paid by Charles. Charles was responsible for William and Kate. And then when Harry comes up and says, I'm going to get married, Charles is like, I'm already paying for one couple. Oh. That's right. They are prince and princess, the little children who are absolutely, it looked like they were so worried about what color they were going to be. And they look just like their dad, both of them. So I'm glad that could be. I am in a shirt. Hold on. See that? I got this at Torrid. I know I'm being bipolar in it. I got this at Torrid, the fat girl store. And it's 3 sizes too big, but I don't care. It feels like I'm wearing angels. I think Harry would have done well. He excelled in the military. Bless his heart. And then all that lavender, all that got taken away from him too. All of his career, all of his accomplishments, all of his titles, medals, whatever, got taken away, which is crazy to me. Hey, Julie, I would think they would be pleased after all said. I think they are, though. At this point, obviously Harry can't go back. This is one. Oh, I was thinking about this the other day too. So you remember Edward and Wallace Simpson, right? And it kind of I ain't gonna say the same in situation because he was going to be king, but it came to the point when they got married, they had to stay married because if they didn't stay married, he gave up that shit for nothing. And, she was dreadfully unhappy. He was happy as he could be. He took her shit. I mean, we'll talk about Wallace Simpson at another time. I keep promising that, but we will. The same thing applies to Harry and Meghan. At this point, if he is miserable in that marriage and he hates California and he wants to go back, he can't. At this point, he can never go back. So they're going to have to stay married. Oh, Trish, okay. At 38, you weren't entitled to it. I know, Vicky, but he knew no other life. You have to take that for. He had always been paid. It's like he worked for the same company all his life. And then all of a sudden, was let go. And you have to figure out how you're going to support your family. $6 million, I believe, is what when they pulled that when they first pulled his security. I think he looked at it was going to be $6 million a year to protect them. The way he'd been protected, he always had at least one bodyguard, but usually 3 bodyguards through his whole life. And now he was absolutely vulnerable. He had none. Hey, Sweet Meadow, you dear. He had none. He went from me, I go back and forth with him. I go back and forth with him. I really do. I don't. Sometimes I think it's the mother in me that feels so horrible. Yeah. I feel sorry for him as a mother. I mean, he's not old enough to be my kid, but I feel for him. Has the black sheep of a family that never really took up for him that much. If the shit was Pia's gonna be mad, she hates Prince Harry. I thought I would think so too, Trish, but I mean they stopped paying him. And then all of his, we remember from the Queen's funeral. Thank you, Pia. I love you. From the Queen's funeral, when they all stood guard at her at the grandchildren's store, he got to wear his uniform then, but he couldn't wear any uniform. Gina, he couldn't wear it after that, and he couldn't wear it to the funeral. You did. All right, Gene, I'm telling you. So I just finished it last week too. I'm so embarrassed to say that. He went from being the favorite role. Well, see, I thought, yeah, Julie, he was naughty, and I liked that about him when he was younger. I really did. I thought, well, go, boy, go. And obviously, he still smokes dope. So, I mean, he's sitting around smoking pot. Welcome, loved her, and she lasted 18 months before. Yeah, now, all right. Here's what I knew was going to be a problem with her. You are so used to being vocal. You're an American. We get to run our mouths. We can run our mouths about anything we want to. We have an opinion about everything, and that's not a bad thing. That's just us, right? And when you get into that royal family, you no longer can have an opinion on anything that's relevant. You can't have an opinion on just anything, nothing. And I didn't think she was going to last long with that, because when you're used to flapping your gums about everything and then you can't anymore because it's not done, it was going to be a bit of a problem with her. I wish she could get back. I wish she would too. Now, Vicky, I wish that would be my biggest wish too. Honestly, hey, Forgotten Whispers. He invited them. He took their house one day and invited them to the coronation the next day. About same week. Really, Charles? I don't think Charles has got any backbone. I think you could see that. To me, in this book, you could see that Charles never really had a backbone on anything, about anything. Will that affect him being the king? I think it might. He is the one who needs help. Well, they all need a little bit of help. It changed did it change y'all's my view of William and Kate is forever changed. Petty. There's just petty, when they had to have a big powwow because Harry and Meghan didn't buy them Christmas gift. I mean, Easter gifts. And Harry was like, I never bought you an Easter gift before this. Well, why is it a problem now? Let's find members of the staff. Well, Tay, but if you read the book, Meghan was wonderful to her staff. She bought them gifts, and if you read she was just wonderful, just dropping by the office and handing out cookies and Christmas. I don't even know what. I wouldn't handle it well. I wouldn't either, Gina. I would not handle it well at all. I mean, yeah. What? I lost my thought. I lost my thought completely. But I did pull up some questions, some discussion questions. Oh, let me put the damn invite down here. I'm sorry, I forgot that for real. Forgot that for real. Always forget. There we go. If you would like to come up and discuss, I wish you would. I wish you would. Let me see. Yeah, apparently she wasn't so nice. That's why you have to take everything in this book with a grain of salt. And this is Harry's perception of his perfect wife, of she ain't do nothing. We ain't do nothing. We ain't do nothing. But I will say, all right. Oh, but Shannon's the only side. Yeah, that's what I just. Yeah, it's just one side of the story, and it's just his. I guess that's the wonderful thing about being able to write a book. About this whole thing is you get to tell your truth, and unless the other person, counters with another book saying no, 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 then we're stuck with this. I will love to put my voice with drive. Stop it. Stop it. Well, yeah, it is his truth. That's the thing about like I've always talked about grief. All right, grief. If it doesn't matter, let's not say grief. Let's say your life was horrible. Your life was horrible. Well, yes, your life, in your opinion, was horrible. Was somebody else's worse? Yes, but that's their life. You didn't live that. You lived your life, and your truth is this was the worst thing. You know, it's yeah, not what's for cookie, but I mean, I can just I would love William and Kate to answer. They're not going to, and I feel bad for them that they can't. And I mean, did he strike his brother? I think he did strike his brother. I think William struck his brother. I think William is just as much a victim in this as anybody, but he can't do anything about it. He is duty bound, as is Catherine, to be quiet. Not you. Do you? I mean, can you imagine how badly he and Kate want to come out and just blow Harry and Meghan out of the water? They want to cut you. I mean, I can't imagine shit being said about me all over the world. You know, how many millions of copies did this book sell? A lot. And not being able to come out and say, you know what, that little redheaded fuck said this. Can't. They can't. That's the, I guess, you know, everybody wants to be a prince or a princess, but the truth is, when you are, you have no, you can't do anything. You're stuck. You're on a pedestal, and you can't step off that pedestal and go, fuck you, Harry, and then get back on that pedestal. You just can't do it. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't. I just popped in here. Oh, well, yeah, good job, baby. This is all opinion. You don't have to read the book to have an opinion about this, because it's been everywhere. So, and everybody's got an opinion. I would love to, Jeannie. I would love to, but we're not. We're not. All right, I'm gonna read. Hold on. I got questions. I have discussion questions. I was trying to go through them. And can I just say this? And this is gonna sound so tacky, but the Queen's death couldn't have come at a better time for his book. I'm not being, you know what I'm saying? It could not have come at a better time for his book. Because you remember he had to hold off on releasing it. And then he had to put a little segment in the back, you know, about the Queen's death, you know, and what happened. I'm just saying. I ain't saying you killed her, Harry. I'm just saying. It couldn't have come at a better time for you personally. Because, oh God, the damn, yeah, right. I mean, you know, I'm just saying. Wish I had time to read. Get the audiobook, though. The audiobooks are great for in the car or whatever, if you're cleaning up or taking a shower or bath, whatever you do. Well, fold clothes. I know with the new one, hold on. The new one that we're going to read, the audiobook is already on YouTube, so you don't have to buy the audiobook. It's already on YouTube. This is a true crime story written in 1965. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you. We were young adults. We were fighting in the yard. Yeah. You know, I think about him and William, and they're so close in age, and didn't know. I don't know. It's just sad. To me, it's just sad. I'm glad that Harry's in California. I hope he's glad he's in California. I hope he and Meghan are truly just blessed every day with their two healthy children and their home and their work and everything. I wish that. I hope I hope William and Kate in their private lives are happy and blessed and three, beautiful children, healthy. I'm sad that it couldn't be together. I'm sad that they couldn't all be together. They were the Fab Four there for a little while. They were the Fab Four. And I will say that with 80% of your Commonwealth being, people of color, I don't understand why this didn't work. It should have worked. And I understand like all the different, they're getting more. Charles got very upset when Diana, his wife, was getting more press than he was. That's what they live for. That's their paycheck, I guess. I don't know. Your popularity is your paycheck. The more popular you are, the more, I just wish that the four had been able to really snap back this monarchy thing, because I think after the queen died, I know Charles doesn't have enough anything to pull this off and be a great king. You can't even keep your fucking family together. And you could have. I know y'all know I love NASCAR. And they're two brothers, Kyle and Kurt Busch. And they were both, big drivers. Well, during a race, one wrecked the other. And they didn't speak to each other for months. And they went to their grandmother's for Thanksgiving. She told Kyle that Kurt wasn't going to be there. She told Kurt Kyle wasn't going to be there. Well, they showed up, and she took their heads and smashed them together and said, "Work it out," and shut the door. In like a cool way. And they did. Now, Charles can't even, you know. Hold on, reading. I'm sorry, I'm back. I'm going over the comments because I always forget the comments. William is conditioned. Yeah, he is conditioned. William is absolutely conditioned. And I think do I think William hit him? Yes. I think he did. Yes. I think that I don't know if William was mad because Harry and Meghan were getting so much publicity. But him going in there and saying that this was all Meghan's fault. I mean, Harry, when I look back at that, I think, wait a minute, you're showing a little bit of your daddy in you. You just got hit. They've said shit about your wife in front of you. You just go, all right. I don't believe Harry's that laid back, or he was high. I wish they would, Vicky. I do. I wish they would. I wish, like the Invictus games that Harry created, his work with Africa and his work with disabled veterans, and he had a lot of great causes. Pride has ruined a lot. I think you're right, Lavish Sunny. It is pride. I miss the Queen. I love the Queen so much. And I had y'all. I don't know if some of y'all might not have known this, but I had a thing of her in the back seat of my car. Little stick stuff, whatever it is, of her waving. And I drove around town. I drove everywhere with that thing. I went to Ohio with it. I loved it. People would just laugh at me when I went by because it was her waving. And when the day she died, I had to take it off. And I got so sad. I feel for the kids. They're missing out. Yeah, Vicky, you know what? In that generation, of William's children and Harry's children, could really, in the future, be a dynamic set of workers, I guess you would say. Drop by and say that I'll be joining. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you, Pick. Thank you. I know, Diana. I know. And really, I just, too, with those two boys, I was thinking that it's bad enough to lose your mother at their age, to a car wreck. That's bad enough. But then when you have to go on a global scale and people, especially at the funeral, and then walking behind on a global scale, people that grieve your mother, I can't imagine. It's bad enough being a little child. It's bad enough that you had to live your life without your mother. Every time they have a baby, every time they get married, somebody will superimpose a picture of Diana watching over them and all that. That's hard. That is hard. All right, let me go back home. All right, here's one that I thought was interesting. Did Harry do enough preparation to help Meghan adjust to royal life, or did he just have, or do you think he should have done more? She was amazing. I was awake the night she died. My girl Devin was sick as a dog, and I was awake watching CNN when it flashed over the screen. And when I tell you that I had a obsession with Diana. My cousin went to London to go to a university, and he would send me clippings. Hey, hush! He would send me the clippings that were in the every week. I'd get a thing of clippings from the papers from him, and I was absolutely, I would just read through them because we didn't get them over here, obviously. So I was about 15, 16, maybe, I don't know. And I remember when they got married. I have a book somewhere around here about her and then the marriage and all that. I've got it at Tallheimer's. I'll never forget. Hey, banjo lady. So I was so enamored of her. You stopped on your way to Greece. I was trying to quit smoking. Oh, banjo. She was such a force. I remember watching her cry, right? It was her last official, I want to say it was her last official outing, but it might not have been. It might have been her just when she announced that she was stepping back, and I thought, you do you, girl. Yes, I have a scrapbook of her town. I got a brother for that wedding too. Oh Lord, I did. Oh my God. Yes, we probably met Princess Diana and her. How do you, as children, mourn your mother and have the world just bringing her back up all the time? But I'm sure it comes back up. But oh yes, yes, yes. I woke up in the middle of the night so I could watch it all. I remember that dress coming out of that carriage. I thought I saw it wrapped around in that carriage, but when she got out and she just kept going, and that train just kept coming out, I was like, oh Lord, it kept coming. I remember the silk was crinkled up, but then it got normal. Oh, yeah. Nada made me. I lost my damn discussion question. All right, the question was, do you think Harry prepared Meghan enough for royal life? Or could he have done more? I think he could have done more. Yeah. What is it? Charles Philip Arthur George. And then, so I think the name that she actually said, Charles Philip Arthur George. And she said it backwards. But Jenna, you don't think he gave her enough? I don't either. I will remember them going to see Fergie and finding out that the Queen was there, and he looked over at like Meghan and said, "You know how to curtsy, right?" No, no. Um, I don't know. I don't think she was, but you know what? Princess Diana wasn't prepared. Do I think Kate was apparently prepared very much, or she's just a robot. She's a Stepford wife. I don't know which one it is. She's just this has been her life for so long. She just we as Americans can't in any way, you know, figure out how you don't have an opinion about anything. Nothing. And it makes you really, to me now, it makes you just a superficial figure. All right. They do deal in mental health. They haven't in a while, though. But if they're basically just superficial representations of the monarchy. It's what they're wearing, Journey. But what is training, though? That's what I'm saying. What is training? I don't know what that means. And it's never really been, even in this book, it's not explained what the training was. And you mean, I don't know how you can be trained for the press to fucking hate you. I wonder about that. I don't know how you can, how do you prepare for that? You know, she needed more education before she got married. I believe that is true. She knew how to curtsy. Or that she was obsessed with Diana. That Vicky, I've heard that as well. Yeah, that she's her. Oh, gee, I don't know anything about you. Was a little bit. What? Yeah, I've heard that as well. That she knew a whole lot more about the monarchy than she let on. Like, oh shucks, I didn't know that. Come on now. I will Google. When I was single, I wish I could have Googled every date I went on. But at her point, you can Google Prince Harry and a lot of shit's gonna come up. Don't say you didn't do it, Megan. I know you're watching. Megan, I know you're watching. Don't say you didn't Google that boy. All right, so all of us believe that Megan, whoever was responsible, we believe that she did not have enough. Wait, ask it to wait a little longer. Yeah. Yeah, William did. And he was Square Gang. They all told him just wait. I can remember in a book that I read about King Edward, but he wasn't a king, Edward of Wallace Simpson fame. He was dating for a while an actress, an American actress, way back then, and his father told him, "We do not marry actresses. We have affairs with actresses." Yeah. Then he went and hooked up with a 2-time divorcee. It's like these people are trying to get out of this family left, right, and center. All right. Well, let's see. All right, here's one that's interesting. While the press hoped that Harry, Meghan, William, and Kate would become the Fab Four, reality was quite different. What was behind all the tension between the two couples? I think popularity, quite frankly. Irene, how are you, love? In Cold Blood Sour Girl. I never read it. I just got it yesterday. And Heels in the Air suggested, and I thought that's a really great suggestion. Because one, it's a true crime story. So, two, Truman Capote was such an icon. Writer, Breakfast at Tiffany's people, hello. And so we kind of get to knock out two great things at one time. So, I will forever be thankful for Heels in the Air for doing it. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to read it. I haven't started, but I'm going to. I'll probably do it today. Start doing it today. I got my new glasses. I'm ready to go. He was a brilliant writer. I know. And see, all right, so getting off of the prince, I mean off of Harry for a minute. Um there I read a book. I read a book. It's a I can't remember the names of the damn couple now. Shit. Anyway, he was very high society. He married this woman that came from, literally nothing. She'd actually been having an affair with his father. They got married. They really just did not like each other. Turn enlightened rogue. Hello, my love. I cannot remember the damn names. Anyway, she ended up. They were at their weekend home, right? And they'd just been to a party, and there was a around their holiday neighborhood. There was a burglar that was breaking in. Right? Everybody talked about it at dinner. Oh my God, it's a burglar! It's a burglar! So when they went home, he gave her, hey Kimberly, he gave her a gun, a rifle, right? And he went on to his room. Well, she heard something. And she went out into the hallway and she looked over and she saw a shadow and she shot. And it was her husband who was getting ready to ask her for a divorce. And she killed him. So his mother, who was hugely popular in New York and protected her through the trial. There was not really a trial, it was like an inquest. And anyway, later on, Truman Capote, when he was working for Vanity Fair, was getting ready to write several stories on this, right, for Vanity Fair. Well, Anne, I think that was her name, got a hold of the first thing that he was going to publish. She killed herself. She killed herself. I ain't gonna say Truman Capote did it, but I mean, she killed herself. So, and then of course, if you just, he's an icon. He was like, I was telling my 17-year-old, stupid me. I said, he's an icon. Yes, that's the best movie ever. Yeah, Capote. Philip Seymour Hoffman was absolutely brilliant. I did not see William Seymour Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman. I saw Capote. But I was like, oh yeah, Capote was an icon, just like Andy Warhol. And she gave me a very, very, draft of it. Thank you. See, we're here. I just can't remember all these names. And she looked at me when I said both names, and I went, get to your room right now and Google. I can't with you. And she did. And Harper Lee name was. I think this is going to be a great book for all of us. It's going to expand my horizons. I've never read a Truman Capote book. And I mean, if you just he wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's, people. Have to watch replay at the minute. Oh, Destiny, how you doing, baby? All right, hold on. I'm missing all these. Ooh, have Persian. I'm looking, making sure I'm not missing any good. Well, y'all all have good chat. All right. So, any final thoughts on this book? Any final thoughts on this family? Any final thoughts? I will say I'm if you cannot hold your family together, I don't have any faith in you holding anything else together. The most important thing is your family. I know over there they say it's the crown first and then your family. I know that's the way they've been brought up. That's kind of crazy. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's think. He's a bit creepy. Oh, Pia coming up here. How you doing, baby?
Hey.
What you doing?
Turn right onto Elm Lane. Just drop my grandkids off on the way home to my house or to where I stay
Oh,
when I'm in the country.
did they
Yeah,
spend
I've got
the night?
thoughts on this. I know you're sick of all the negativity I give probably on Harry and Meghan.
No, it's your
Okay.
only truth.
No, it is the truth. It ain't my truth. Harry, I don't know if you know this, but it's coming out that Harry's part of that what the hell's the name of that institute? Can't think of the name of it now. I was just thinking about it too.
What
You'll
is it?
know Aspen Institute. Aspen Institute. That's the name of it.
What? I don't even know what that is.
Okay, well, it's kind
You
of
know, I'm
like
sure
you
what.
really need to dig deeper into it, but he is part of it. And really, most of those people that are part of that are extremely wealthy, 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 the wealthiest of the wealthy.
Right.
And a lot of it's that woke type of vision that they have.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Meghan and Harry are communist. I hate to tell you that, but the Aspen Institute wants to cut back on our freedom of speech. They don't want us to be able, he said our First Amendment was bonkers. Okay. I would never, I mean, I studied law in England. I would have never gone into their country as much as the stuff I don't like about them. I would never be in their country talking bad about them. When I'm there, I keep my mouth shut about them because it's just out of respect for the
But
country.
I just saw something about his opinion on the First Amendment, and I went right by it. I didn't even click it. I guess I got to go back and click it.
Yeah, well, dig deeper into it. There is a lady that has, and no, she doesn't show her face, so we don't know who she is, but she's the one that does like the Sparkles cartoons and all that. She's out of New
Yeah.
York. Um, I think it's the Royal Grift is what it is, but
Okay.
she really really is more of an investigative person into them, and that's how I found that out, and it just came out recently. Yeah, they want to cut our freedom of speech. I don't know if people noticed, but a lot of people in England have gotten cut off, like Wally. There was a lady named Wally that really hyped on them for a while. um Trevor Colt, he's like a big time military. He got an honor from the Queen and all that from the
Oh,
military. Yeah, he's got a channel. But yeah, they've had him demonetized from YouTube. And I noticed that stuff only happens in the UK because their freedom of speech is different than ours,
well, yeah,
regardless of what people think.
they do. You can't. I mean, if you said some of the racial things that are said over there, you get arrested.
Oh, I know firsthand because they
Yeah.
came to my door over a fight I had with a Polish guy. And he had made a
Wow.
comment to me. Yeah, it's a big long story. I'll tell you at the meet and greet. But yeah, they come to your door. And I literally had to hire an attorney. And I remember it was my first year of law school. I thought, oh God, the law department's going to kick me out, And I
Right.
hated having to go in front of them and tell them what happened. And they looked at me like, why didn't you take this further? And I should have. I should have. And I'll tell you the story, and you'll probably think that I should have. Because I didn't want problems in law school.
Right.
I went later in life, and I was on my own there, and I applied on my own. I didn't have any kind of anybody try to help me write or interview or anything like that for what I had to go through. And I was quite shocked I got in, to be honest with you. So I really did not want any problems.
Right. No,
But
I
yeah,
get it. Yeah.
but no,
Yeah.
they know, Meghan and them know they can take the newspapers down and sue them. And I mean, look at Pierce Morgan. They almost ruined his career. She
I forgot about that.
Sharon Osbourne, she did ruin her career. And they're
Yeah.
able to do that because they're British citizens. If they could do that here in America, girl, you guys wouldn't be on. You and Sav wouldn't have no channel.
Well, yeah. The
I'm
one that
serious.
always, what is that? It's the lady. What is her name?
Lady C,
It's the one that's like an actual member that. Well, I say member.
Lady Colin Campbell.
That's the one.
Yeah,
That's the
Lady
one.
C. Yeah, yeah.
And I don't generally listen to her because it's like negative. It's always so negative.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's her opinion, and it's apparently a lot of people's opinions. If you look at her views,
Yeah.
so um, I'm trying to,
I
and
think she's very disappointed. I'm gonna tell you that like that. Now, I've never met her. I do plan to go meet her one of these days when I go to work. But her kids played with those boys when they
right,
were growing up.
yeah,
Yeah. And she's shocked, I think, more than anything. And she knows more than we know.
oh for
She
sure,
knows what yeah, yeah, yeah. And she can't just come out and say it. I mean, she knows she could get taken down or get a lawsuit against her. She's very careful about what she says. But I'm going to tell you, I think she knows what she's talking about. And the negativity, I think she's the drug thing. Harry admits to using
oh yeah,
psychedelics,
yes, yes,
not just marijuana.
yes,
I don't have a
mushroom,
problem with marijuana. I smoke
mm,
marijuana too for my own health reasons. But now I don't drink and I
right.
don't do anything else. But that's other people's choices. But yeah, I mean, for him to come into America, he really should not even be here on a visa. They should be deporting him out of the country legally.
Mm.
But they're not going to because he's a
Oh no, they're not
prince.
going to. No, no.
Okay.
He's going
Megan
to Jersey Coast.
putting the prince and princess titles on those kids. She gave that information to People magazine and basically blindsided Charles. But now I'm going to tell you, I told you this before. I think we're going to find out down the road, now maybe years down the road, but I really think that family was behind Diana's death. I stand by that.
The royal
Um,
family.
oh, definitely. Definitely. I think she was
Yeah.
pregnant um with
Hey,
what's his
Michelle,
name's
girl, I love you.
baby.
Have a good day, love. I love you. I love you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I apologize to your people if they find me negative.
You're
It's just that
good.
I work out. I was educated. I saw a lot, really, at 48 years old going to law school. I thought we were a lot alike because we both spoke English. Okay, no, no. There's a reason that we kicked their asses out this country. And I'm gonna tell you, you guys better watch Meghan and Harry and be real careful with that because it seems like Meghan gets what Meghan wants, and I think Harry was right about that.
I think you
But
probably am.
yeah, I think
Like
she's a
you as
very
well.
dangerous woman. And I think you'll find from her family's going to eventually come out and say something once the lawsuit with her sister's over, because her sister
Here-
has her tied up in
Here's
court.
the thing that hurts. The thing that works for Megan is that family, the daddy and the sister, are opportunists, and so
I
they
agree with
work
that now.
in her
I,
favor.
I do agree with that, but, and I tell people this: you cannot fight in court with that. They got money so deep that we don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Okay, she's got that Getty guy
Okay.
that backs her, and I don't know. I heard she's trying to get Feinstein's seat now. Whether or
Dorothy
not Newsom,
Dorothy wants to know the name of the podcast that you
which
were talking.
one,
The
Lady
one
Colin Campbell,
is it Lady?
or
Let's see.
there's Lady Colin Campbell, Lady C, and then there's also, I would check out the Royal Grift. She's the one that does the cartoons on them, which are hysterical. But she also, I mean, she's like you when it comes to diving deep into your
Research.
true crime stuff. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she's like this. She hates Meghan and Harry, hates them,
Yeah.
does not want them in the country. And boy, she investigates some stuff on them, and she shows everything and connects the dots. That Archwell is so deep into really bad stuff. So I just ask people to please
Oh
think
my God.
twice before they. And I'm not trying to bash him. I always
I
liked
know.
Harry.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm like, why didn't Harry? He liked Africa. Why didn't he just go marry a real African woman?
Well, because Megan the Plant came. Do
Yeah, I
you think they'll
mean,
go
I
to
think you're
the
gonna.
coronation?
I'm sorry.
Do you think they'll go to the coronation?
Hell yeah, they'll go to the coronation. That's the only thing they have to sell themselves on is bitching about their family and
Yeah.
their ties to the family. Yeah, I
I'm
am
waiting to
interested.
see.
I am interested though in one thing that's always kind of, and I would like to ask Lady Colin Campbell this. I don't understand why Charles didn't take it upon himself to go meet her dad before this ever got way out of hand.
Because he couldn't be bothered.
You think that's what it is?
And Charles is like the way Harry describes him, even when he's in his own home, he's behind that desk with all the paper stacked everywhere. Charles is a goofball. I
Oh,
mean,
I definitely think
he
he's a
ain't the
dumbass.
sharpest
Yeah.
knife in the drawer by any means.
Yeah,
And
he's never impressed me. I like William and Kate, and I like Sophie, and
yeah,
I love that Edward got the Duke of Edinburgh.
Edinburgh,
I
yeah, I read that.
Yeah, and Anne, I like Anne. But see, these people are all non-drama,
Yeah, they just go
and
about the
I'm going to
business.
tell you, they killed my fantasy of the royal family. Meghan and Harry killed my fantasy. And honestly, that pisses me off.
Well, too, because if you think about it, people's fascination with royalty is that it is that superficial, the superficial part of it where you are in beautiful clothes in front of, outside of a wonderful charity, and you're
Mhm.
shaking hands, and then you
Mhm.
always want to know more, right? I mean, like, I would love to he did not use his grandmother, I will say, a lot in this book. Though he could have, but just her and her, you always want to know more. I think that's anything, like even with a movie star, you always want to know more. You love their characters that they play, much like the royal family's characters. They play characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they were always kind of mysterious. There was some kind of
yeah,
mystery
it's
to
some
them.
kind of mystery, something that I
Yeah.
think people become um a minion, and Harry kind of blew that up for himself.
Yeah.
No more, I
Yeah.
don't wonder anymore about them. They're not as interesting. I don't know. That's why I wonder, will they go to the
What
inauguration?
do you think? Do you think they'll go coronation?
Man, I don't know. I thought they would, but then he took the damn Frogmore from them, and but then he gave the titles to the children. I don't know.
Well, I don't think he had a choice on the titles.
I
That
think
would
he
have to
did.
go through Parliament for a new letters patent on that.
I think it's going to be very just like
But I would really watch because I think it's not always Charles pulling the strings when it comes to the crown. The crown is an institution.
well, it is,
You,
yeah. I mean, it's a business.
yeah, and
It's a fucking business.
exactly.
Make
It's a
no
big
mistake
money
about it.
making business. People don't
Yeah,
even realize how much that family's worth.
yeah. It is a
Um,
damn money making business, and
Now, if I
business
had
is
my
good.
way, after all this crap with these two and Andrew and his nonsense, I would go ahead and just get rid of them. And they're talking about it. So I'm going to tell you, Charles is walking a fine line over there, I believe.
I know that
Yeah.
Charles had said before that, like, and Andrew's children, the one was all the children, their children. He was going to take their HRH. The
Yes.
so they would, work working members.
Well,
You
you know
know?
the Queen's cousin, what is she, the Queen of Norway or I don't know,
Yes,
somewhere over there. She
yes.
took all her grown grandkids' HRHs and princes and princesses titles. I mean,
It's a lot of money.
that's costly in this time and day. It's
Yeah.
costly to support those people.
Well,
And Megan,
it's like those beautiful homes, the beautiful estates, the beautiful when in the 20s we sent our rich little girls over there to get a title, and in return their money would run the house, like those, Downton Abbey.
yeah,
Perfect
exactly,
example.
exactly. That was real common. Yeah,
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 that was very common. Um,
yeah.
and the same thing now, you cannot, there's no way you could pay for all that security, all that, everything that an HRH gets. So,
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. With that those kids getting that prince and princess,
yeah,
they're entitled to security now. And if they win that case, which they will win, because once again, the crown court belongs to who? The crown.
right.
Okay? That family don't lose in those courts. There's no lord in their right mind that's going to rule against that family.
I'm going to
Okay? Even the Crown prosecution, when they did the investigation on Andrew and his shenanigans, um, they claim they didn't find anything. They downplayed it all. Okay, well, it's just not going to happen. We're going to pay for that security, is what I'm coming down to, because they
Yeah.
live in America, and it's going to be Secret Service type security, where they get access to classified information going on in the country and anywhere else.
HRH
Okay,
is Her Royal Highness or His Royal Highness.
correct,
So
correct.
yeah, when if you'll remember, Diana lost her HRH status after the divorce. The Queen took it from her. So
Yeah,
there was a big debate on does she get a state funeral because she's not an HRH, and it came down to they had to do it. Basically, they had
yeah.
to do it.
Well, her son was going to be the future king, so of course, I
Exactly.
mean,
Yeah.
and I'm going to tell you right now, the public wasn't going to have it. They were
Oh
pissed
no,
during
yeah,
that
no,
time.
yeah, but yeah, there
I
was.
know you know about all that,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But and I love Diana too. I mean, she was really. I think it was probably our generation.
Well,
She was along our generation,
I think about her like
and
Marilyn Monroe. When in Marilyn
hmm
Monroe's day, when she passed away, there were so many women that were like, "I wish I could have been her best friend. I wish I could have been her friend and helped her. I wish I could have, And it was that trying to save her from herself. And then you have
exactly.
Diana in this generation. It was people the same, same sentiment. I wish I could have been her friend. I wish she, could have done this. Nothing was going to change that accident, but she was, and she was miserable for a lot of her, that point between her marriage and her death. For a lot of that, she was absolutely, you know, uh, depressed isn't even the word. She was unhappy because there was a, how do you transition from being the future Queen of England to no title, no security, no nothing? I don't know. I don't know. But she was about to. I guess.
Well, I still think the crown is being blackmailed too. I think that Jimmy Savile stuff. I don't know if you know about all that, but there was, I think, some
Oh,
nasty stuff was mixed in there, and I think they killed. And I think Meghan and Harry know this,
well,
and I
see,
think they're
Julie,
going to use it if they have to. If they don't
they
get everything they want.
yeah, Julie, they didn't. They pulled Harry's security. The Prince Charles. Well, I'm gonna say Prince Charles did. The Crown pulled his
Hmm.
security when he and she was probably no, maybe she wasn't pregnant yet again, but it was her, Archie, and him, and they pulled their security. And Tyler Perry is who came in and said, "Go to my house. I've got security. You can live there as long as you want to." And it's Tyler Perry provided security for them. So yeah, they can pull it if they want to. They can do
You know, he's
anything.
Lily's grandfather or godfather. They just got her christened, and he's the
I
godfather.
say couldn't have a better one. I'm telling
My
you.
godfather's Medea.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
You couldn't get
yeah.
it. So yeah,
I don't know.
this book has been interesting to me because it did give me enough insight into these people as humans and not just figures.
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't like some of them as much as I thought I would. I think
Hmm.
but their life is, I guess, based on pettiness. It's your publicity is trying to
They
put.
seem like very shallow people. They don't seem like they're very deep. But I
They're
mean, can you imagine
pathetic.
growing up? They're like puppets. I
Yeah,
mean, they're being pulled by the courtiers,
yeah, they
and
are. They
yeah,
really
and
are.
they can't ever have an opinion.
No,
That's where Charles is going to mess up. You wait and see. Charles needs to stay out of political stuff, okay? And we can go. I don't want to go in that whole political thing because that's a
yeah,
whole
that's a
nother
lot.
arena. Because
That's
now
a
there's
lot.
this Windsor Act coming up, which kind of concerns
Oh, I
me.
know.
But I'll tell you about that later.
Yeah,
But anyhow,
I
go
realized
ahead.
somebody said telling me there. No, I said earlier there's absolutely two sides to this. The
Oh
sad thing
yeah,
is we will never know the other side because they can't do anything about it. They
Yeah.
can't go out and have a interview where they go point after point on Harry's book. They can't.
Hmm.
They can't. They won't. We will never know what they think unless
Yeah.
Harry writes another book. I don't think he will. So,
Oh yeah, he is.
oh, you stop talking
No,
right
he's
now. No, he's not.
no, he's adding another chapter to the paperback version that comes out.
I'm not buying it, Harry. I'm not buying it, but I will go to Barnes and Noble and I will read it. I'm not
Megan's
gonna
writing a
lie.
book too, they said. So
I'm not.
I don't know. I would just sit and watch. I think it's going to be quite interesting. I think you're going to discover that there's a lot more to that family that's just really icky
Becky B. Well,
it's sad.
it is.
I
It's
think
overall
William
it's
is probably
depressing.
the most normal one because of Kate and her family.
Yeah.
And even then, I mean, they still, I don't know. I
Well,
kind of feel sorry for them all, because
going back
I
to
think they
Edward,
really,
when Edward, so Edward, it would have been Prince. It would have been Queen Elizabeth's grandparents were very strict, very uh, just not loving in any way whatsoever at all. I don't go say horrible parents, but just a very strict, utilitarian, no frills, no love, no nothing. All right. So
Mhm.
when Edward, uh, abdicated, so then you have Bertie, which is the Queen's father. Now when he married Elizabeth, her mother, her family was nothing but children and frolicking and aunts and uncles and games and playing. And he really took to their family. He never had that before in his life.
Yep.
And so, you see that part of the generation. And then you have Queen Elizabeth, who they obviously, through her mother and father, had a playful, loving childhood. And then you have her children, and you have Charles, and you have Anne, and she went straight back to not a lot of attention, not a lot of, affection. Then you turn around, you have Charles, you know what I'm saying? It's like these people go back and forth with their normalcy, I guess is what. Normal is not no affection, business only. That's not normal at all. But
Well,
that's
walking into your parents' bedroom in the morning, curtsying to them is not normal.
exactly. Or
Yeah,
we see them after
that's.
dinner.
I just feel like those people just are kind of too. They think kind of too much of themselves. They're not really living in reality. I don't think most of the time. And the service. Okay, let me tell you something. I'm tired of everybody harping on the service. The Queen gave so much service to her country. No, the
Yeah,
Queen and them, they were paid for that.
well, of course.
Okay.
You don't
Yeah,
think she was?
that was a job.
Do you think
Yeah,
she
there
was
wasn't
an
no
incredible?
service.
Oh no. If y'all watch that thing, these with the Queen at 90, it's now on YouTube. It used to be on Netflix, where they
Is
pull
it
out
good?
all those silly films and Prince Charles looked through all of them. And that was interesting. Now, see, that was gonna say that was interesting because you got to see them behind the scenes, right? They were playing
Uh-huh.
when they were children. And all that was so interesting. Have you
Wow.
seen single? Wait a minute. Single, royal, and gay? No.
What is
Wildflower.
that?
I don't know, but I'm on it. Because you give me a gay prince any day of the week, I am on it. I will. I don't know. I'm just gonna. All right. I just screenshotted that, and I'll be on that toot sweet when we get when we get rid of this.
What's it called?
Single, royal, and gay. Undercover
Okay.
princes searching for love in England. I have a new. I have a new obsession. I have a new royal obsession.
Oh
Even
Lord.
gay people couldn't be gay. That's what I mean. This family. Yeah, paid very well. Very well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, do you watch The Crown or on Netflix? Do you watch it?
Yeah, I do.
I do too. I love it.
I wasn't too impressed with the last season.
Surely,
I
my
was kind of
love.
confused at first. I was like, what are we showing here?
Yeah,
Why is this Queen Elizabeth back now? I was confused.
it
But
set
yeah,
up so well. But then I did catch some little, like the stuff about Wallace Simpson being so devoted to David slash Edward. Bullshit.
no, she didn't
That's
even want to marry him.
bullshit.
Yeah.
No. And that's when I got
She
a
was
big
sleeping with some Nazi too, because she
oh,
got in trouble for that.
oh yeah, she
Yeah.
was. She was taking shit out of his box and going over and showing it to him. Oh, don't get me started, Wallace Simpson, because I know you're watching too. You dead bitch. Don't make me get on you. I can't stand her. And I've read two biographies, and I don't know if they. I read one before, then I read Andrew Morton's.
Yeah.
She's so unlikable. And then I read, let's see, whose cousin was it? It was either Doris Duke or Barbara Hutton. I think it was Barbara Hutton's cousin Jimmy. He was gay,
Yeah,
and
he was.
they were friends of
Oh, was he
something.
friends with Wallace?
Oh yes, I've got the
Oh, I
book
didn't know
Dancing
that.
with the Devil, and
Oh,
she would
okay.
hang out with him and all in New York, and Edward would be in France writing his memoir, and he would get word they were doing this and that. And would go back to there, and then apparently they were at a dinner together, and I mean, like with a lot of people at a party, and Wallace was talking about something, and Jimmy kicked her so hard under the table that she started bleeding. And
Oh
David
my
stood
God.
up and said, told him off, grabbed her, and they left. Never talked to him again, so far as I know. Don't get me started. I don't think
Wow.
Wallace thought David would actually play into Jeannie Wallace. You know what? Watch what you wish for because you just might get it. I say that all the time to people. Watch what you wish for. You just might
What'd
get
she
it.
say?
Oh, that
I
Wallace.
can't see the chat.
I don't think Wallace thought David would actually play into her bullshit, but that boy got. Yeah,
I
but
mean,
in
he was
general,
ape shit crazy over her, and I don't know what it was about her that
and
he was
she
so crazy
also,
about.
when I'll talk about that book with shit, it's over there. I cannot remember the name of the book or the name of the people, but Wallace Simpson and Edward were actually at a bunch of the cocktail parties that the one I was talking about earlier. Shot her husband. All my things intermingle somehow. I don't understand how you know
Yeah.
I don't understand, but they showed
I
up.
had no idea Jimmy was friends with her, though. That's interesting.
Oh yes, oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. There's a whole book about it, Dancing with the Devil. I got that
Oh,
over.
okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to look at that then, huh?
it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Peggy,
Well, I'm
I don't think you know what they never let that happen. Charles would absolutely they no 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 they can't. You know, the Queen had to go through Anne's divorce, her sister's divorce, Charles' divorce, Andrew's divorce. So three of her four children have been divorced. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. That is not gonna happen.
I don't know. I heard Meghan and Harry don't even live together anymore. I think they would stay together um just for monetary
You're gonna
purposes. I
have to
don't.
though, just like Wallace and Edward. They can't
Yeah.
divorce at this point. You've caused all this fucking trouble, and you're divorcing 5, 10 years later. No, no, they're
Yeah.
gonna have to. Just
Yeah.
like Wallace and them did. Thank you, baby. Thank you, wife. So yeah, they're gonna have to. Just like those, Edward and Wallace. Ugh, you get me started. I can't.
Yeah, I would be really shocked. And if she did, she's divorcing him for like a Getty or Elon Musk or somebody like that in that financial range.
I'll tell you what,
So
I'd knock him off before I damn divorced him. Just saying.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The way he sounds, I don't know if she's got him in this position, and this is how she controls him with all these drugs.
Could be.
But I sure hope to God that they don't find him dead one day, because now that's really going to be a big uproar if that happens. I mean, it would just be
Oh yeah.
such
Well, I'll tell you
a
this.
big thing. Yeah.
Before I
I
divorced
mean,
him, he would have an accident in that house. Oh damn. What do you mean he fell in the shower and busted his head? Well, oh damn. I didn't even notice it for how long? 2 days. Oh. Sorry.
well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that Megan, I'm telling you, those guys married some psycho women sometimes. I don't get it, but
My
she really
husband.
is a piece of work, and it's really sad because she could have done a lot
She
of good
really
stuff.
could have, and I don't understand why. I mean, maybe because I'm not plugged into exactly what their day to day stuff is. I don't know why they're not.
See, I watch this stuff now instead of watching the tragedy pimps. So I'm more in tune with what's going on, and I want to listen to people that are really, you know, studying this stuff and digging into the companies that are linked together, and
Yeah.
what these companies are about. And
Hey, big
yeah,
dog.
I mean,
Hey, Miss Big Dog. I'd be interested. You need to. Only you can do it because you're too smart. You're way smarter than I am. I can't do
who?
it. You.
No, no. I learned a lot about that country when I was over there, and there
Yeah,
really are some great people, and that country is so beautiful. I'm not gonna lie to you.
it's on my
But
bucket list. You know.
yeah, you need to come over there and visit. But it's so sad what's going on with the country right now, and I feel bad for the YouTubers and the people that Meghan and Harry took down, and then they had really good shows. Trevor's still up, but he's not monetized, I don't think, which is really sad. He has a lot of great guests on his show too. So, but it's different than what you guys do. He
Yeah.
touches on them a little bit, but he also has like other war heroes on, and people, he's real big into the veterans, and I'm big
Right.
into that because my ex-husband, was retired military. So, and the military still takes care of me. So, yeah, I'm big into that. But
Well, I
um
do know that the country is
But I
going
will
through.
tell you this, and you can tell Miss Savage for me, and then I'm getting off here because I'm gonna go in the house and eat.
Okay.
Um, I met a guy from YouTube in Charlotte the other day,
Right.
and Jimmy disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
so I'm not sure who else maybe wrote in, but I take full responsibility for
And
that.
you
I hope
should,
you're
baby.
listening. I
I would
take
have a
full
shirt made.
responsibility.
You go in.
I People can't serve him. People going through crazy. Fuck you, Jimmy. Fuck you. And
I
give me
would
back
have a
my
shirt
goddamn
made.
iPhone.
I would have a
Huh?
shirt made that said it and wear it everywhere.
Oh.
I took
I,
him
I
down.
told Unirock I took responsibility for it. I don't think they believe me.
Yeah.
So whatever, I don't care. But yeah, I don't care. I take responsibility,
I would
you
wear
know.
that shirt. I'd like to visit. Oh
But
yeah, all that. Me too, Jeannie. There's a lot. All right, well you go eat because I'm gonna end this here in a second. I don't
all
like to
right. Well,
swallow.
when you gonna be on again?
What's today?
Next weekend with your book thing?
Probably go through another. I'll probably go do a live this week, probably for sure.
Okay, and what's the name of the book you're doing?
Truman
I'm
Capote's In Cold Blood.
in cold blood. Okay,
Yeah,
all right. Okay. Is that the one he wrote about the guy that was in
two guys,
prison?
two guys that
Yeah.
murdered a family. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
So
I'll
it's
read
like
that. That's
true crime and and
yeah.
Truman Capote. Hello,
Capote himself is an interesting character too.
very,
So
very.
yeah. All right, girlfriend. Have a good weekend. Love
Thank you
y'all.
for coming up, and I love you, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Okay, tell your people I'm sorry I bitch and complain about them, but I'm just not really impressed after getting to know everything.
I
So
know. Well, you have a
yeah,
perspective that we don't.
yeah. Well,
So,
I don't know about all that. I've never
Julia,
visited those castles. I don't go and spend my money on that stuff. So I don't know, but okay. Love y'all. Have a good weekend.
bye.
Okay,
Be
peace
safe.
out. Bye, bye, baby.
I love Pia. I love PO. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up. Our next book, In Cold Blood. We also have the audiobook free on YouTube. I did not look up the Kindle prices and all that. I don't think it's very much. I always like to keep everything under $20 because I know $20 is, $20 is at this point in our economy is a lot of money. So onward to Truman. Heels in the Air made a fantastic pick, and I think we're going to be really entertained by the style of writing and the subject and all that. So I love you all very much, and I thank y'all for coming and onward and upward to the next book. I would like to say I will start it next Sunday. Um, in fact, let's put that on the books at 4 o'clock. It'll just be a general because I know people are still ordering it, people are still getting it, people are still reading it. I have to start it, and I will get back to y'all very soon. And I love you very much, and be safe. And thank you so much for the super chats and just being here. I appreciate it. Bye, guys.